So I recently watched Zootopia 2 and Wake Up Dead Man, and I was going to post two separate videos that review them separately, but then I thought, nah, I can lump them together because, you see, they're connected by a theme of mystery, as both films' narratives feature an investigation of sorts. One being done by a sexy little minx, and the other one having Daniel Craig. Also, before we start, if you like this video, feel free to hit the like button. I really appreciate it, and if you want to see more reviews, breakdowns, and analyses, hit subscribe. Anyway, enough foreplay. 2 movies, 2 reviews, let's go, baby! Wake Up Dead Man follows Judd, a young priest played by Josh O'Connor, who is asked to assist Monsignor Jefferson Wicks at his church. But shortly after, an impossible murder takes place, leading to good old Detective Benoit Blanc to come in and solve the case. Will he solve it? I can't answer that. That's a spoiler. I'm not going to say much more of the plot for fear of spoilers, though I may touch on some of the plot elements. I won't spoil anything in regards to the ending. I really don't want to ruin it for anyone. I gotta say, the cast are all fantastic, especially O'Connor. He's the protagonist of the story, and boy does he deliver. In fact, the cast are all pretty good. Once again, Rian Johnson has surrounded us with a group of horrible people. Any one of them could have committed the murder. They are just such pieces of shit. But who did it? I can't tell you, and it's rude that you keep asking for spoilers. The only weak link, in my opinion, is Mila Kunis. I'm sorry, but I don't really care for her as an actress, but honestly, she's not in it that much, and her character is exactly what you think she is going to be. So I guess it's fine, sure. I don't know, I don't care. Now, for the next part, I want to say some of the images I will be showing aren't related to what I'm saying, so don't worry, I am not spoiling anything. I will say some cast members aren't in it as much as I would have liked. It does ultimately result in you being able to eliminate some suspects. Don't get me wrong, I was still really shocked at the ending, but you can definitely lump characters into the "there's no way they did it" category, and then they didn't. It doesn't spoil the film though, but it does kind of make it less fun. What I think makes this movie work is, like the previous two, they aren't strictly mystery films. Okay, well, they are, but they break down the conventions of the mystery genre. In Knives Out, the twist is that we're following the supposed killer, only for there to be no real killer. Oh, but wait, there was, but not in the way you thought. Boom, big twist, glass onion. The twist is that it's her sister that we've been following the whole time. The twist isn't even really related to the killer. Hell, the killer in that film is super obvious. See, there were layers to that whole story, but you could see straight through it to who the killer was. Almost like an onion made of glass. Hey, wait a second. And this one's no different. Okay, I am going to talk vaguely about the mystery element, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. Don't worry though, I'm not going to say exactly what happens. The skip ahead is more if you want to go in completely blind. Alright, are you going? Alright, Benoit Blanc is the killer. See, that was a test. If you're still here, naughty naughty. Okay, so the first 2 movies have killers who are insanely obvious, in my opinion. I never really found them to be a twist in the slightest. Granted, that was by design, they're not supposed to be. This time, it isn't the most obvious thing in regards to the killer. I thought for sure I knew where this movie was going, and they actually play into the idea that I had, but no, it's not what I thought it was going to be, and I think it works. I think Rian Johnson definitely wanted the audience to believe one thing and even played on what we thought the twist was going to be, only to pull the rug out completely. I think it was a great idea. When you do mystery films like this, you want to keep it fresh for the audience, and I think this is achieved here by falling into more of a traditional murder mystery, while still providing the fun, unique narrative twists that you want from these films. It's so good. On a technical level, holy shit! This movie is beautiful. The scenes in the church specifically are so beautifully shot, and they do this thing with the natural lighting where it changes depending on the emotional beats of the scene. It's really well done. Okay, I know it's actually not the natural lighting, but it's presented that way. Like, it's the light from outside that changes. You get it. You'll understand what I'm saying if you watch the movie. It's really well done. Of course, I need to talk about...
that is hooey.
He's great. I really love how Daniel Craig plays him. You really get the sense that, yeah, he's the smartest man in the room, but he's also a bit of a goofball, which makes him so fun to watch. I find that some detectives in other films, while brilliant, aren't as entertaining to watch. It's mostly just the audience waiting for them to have a big speech at the end where they reveal, "Oh, I figured out this extensive mystery while buttering my toast this morning because I noticed a tiny mundane detail that you only would have noticed by doing an investigation. No, you are a fool." Here though, Blanc is funny and honestly just fun to be around. He's like that in the previous films too, and I honestly believe that is why Craig loves playing him so much. He is an entertaining character that works perfectly in the story he's in. Now, to answer the obvious question, are Rian Johnson's Knives Out mystery films better than Kenneth Branagh's Poirot films? The answer is a definitive no shit, Sherlock. Bearing in mind, I haven't seen Death on the Nile.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
I liked The Haunting in Venice, despite not being really able to remember it that much. The kid did it, right? I don't know. He had something to do with it. I don't know. The kid did something. And I absolutely hated the ending of Murder on the Orient Express. Oh, everyone did it. What a cool twist. I definitely didn't feel like I wasted my fucking time. Overall, I had so much fun with this movie, and I was fully invested from start to finish. And I'm going to give it the rating of go see it in the cinemas ASAP. I mean, obviously you can't. It's on Netflix, which everything may be soon. So go watch it there. It was really good. Go watch it. Zootopia 2 is the sequel to Zootropolis, yet it's called Zootopia 2. A little odd, but I mean, fair enough. Anyway, this time around, Nick and Judy get stuck into an investigation that could change everything we know about Zootopia when a mysterious snake appears. Now, I love the first Zootopia. I think it's tons of fun. It's a classic under rabbit story and an animated Jason Bateman. What is not to love? But I was skeptical about this one. I know Disney sequels do well, holy shit, but that doesn't always mean they're good. Wait, why is Cars 2 here? First of all, it's a Pixar movie, and second of all, it's awesome. They have guns and spies in that one. Did you not see Mater with the jetpack? But I'm happy to say that this is a worthy sequel. I really like that the primary conflict is about their compatibility as partners in the police force. Yes, the police force. No, they are not a couple. They make that very clear. Anyway, it made for a natural story. These two are very different, so it would not be smooth sailing for them working together, and I like that that's explored. Slight spoiler here, but the film actually takes place pretty much immediately after the first. An interesting choice, yet it does make sense. Given their dynamic as partners being a pivotal part of the plot, that element does work better if they have only been partners for a short time. I think the cast are all incredible again, and newcomers such as Ke Huy Quan are fantastic additions. This movie is also really funny. Like, I wasn't really expecting that at all. I was laughing out loud multiple times. I also loved exploring new places in Zootopia. It made for an incredible chase sequence at one point, which I loved. This world is so unique, and I love every time we get to visit it. But this movie is not perfect. Now, again, I'm going to discuss slight spoilers, so skip ahead if you want to go in completely blind. I actually spoil a lot more here than I did for Wake Up Dead Man. Alright, so something happens towards the end of this movie that is very similar to what happens at the end of the first. You can probably figure out what I'm talking about, and you'll definitely notice it in the movie as they make a direct reference to it. Personally, I didn't really care for it. I didn't like it when they did it in the first movie as it was incredibly predictable, and that's the same here. I do think it is done slightly better this time around, but it's still very predictable. I do actually really like the character this relates to more than the one that was in the first, but if I'm being completely honest, I think that might be because I like the casting so much. Even their motivation is very similar to the first. Not exactly the same, but in a general sense. They both wanted to prove themselves in a way. Also, I do want to touch on this. Now, this mystery cloaked character appeared in the first teaser for the film, only to not be in the film at all. Yeah, apparently it was only in the teaser to create a tone for the film. Now, whether or not that's true is a different matter. Personally, I don't see the appeal in teasing a very intriguing, ominous antagonist, only for it to not be relevant to the film at all. I do actually think the real villain of the film is who is supposed to be under this hood, but at no point are they presented this way. It doesn't really take away from the story too much, but it is disappointing, especially if you were really looking forward to the mystery element of who is this character. There were so many possibilities to this. I remember all the theories that were coming out of it. I remember that one theory that it was going to be the last human in Zootopia. That would have been insane, Do humans even exist in this universe? I don't know. I don't want to know. I mean, actually, I kind of do want to know. I think it would be really interesting. I mean, where have they been? What have they been doing? What do they eat? I mean, honestly, the more I think about it, the more I wonder, what if there are humans? I mean, honestly. But on the whole, this movie is tons of fun. It really is a solid sequel. I can't really be too mad at it. It's actually not that much like the first. It is a really fresh story that takes the characters in new places and new directions. The first 2 acts work really, really well. It is just that plot point in the 3rd act that treads on very familiar ground. And I think what bothers me so much about it is that it didn't work in the first movie, so I don't know why they repeated it here. Even though it is slightly better, I still don't really think it works. But again, I can't really be too mad at it. This was a lot of fun. It was really funny. Also, these movies are for kids, which I am not. So who fucking cares what I think? But I'm going to give this movie the rating of fun, easy movie because it's an easy watch and it's fun. Much like my videos. It's also a movie, which kind of explains the movie part. We didn't need to put that there. You know what? I'm leaving it in. I don't fucking care. All right, well, that about does it for me. I was going to compare the 2 of them and tell you which one I liked more, but I think that's ridiculous considering these movies are so drastically different in tone and pretty much every imaginable way. When you think about it, it's actually pretty ridiculous that I paired them together at all. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more. Also, please feel free to tell me what you want to see me talk about. I love superheroes and movies, so there'll definitely be a lot of that, but honestly, no entertainment media is off the table for me. I am honestly open to talking about anything. And tell me what you thought of these movies. And what's your favorite mystery movie? Mine's Cats. The mystery there, of course, being, who the fuck approved this shit?